Mr. Williams. God woke us up this morning. Can I get a amen? Don't get scared now. Hallelujah. Thursday morning. Here we go. Love you. So, yeah, let's get busy living.
Okay, so yeah, I'm still trying to share out. I didn't get it shared out, so I'm a mess, y'all.
I think I shared it a couple places. You're not a mess. You're doing.
I'm trying to figure it out. I couldn't get wasn't hooked up to my Wi-Fi. It's crazy. On my phone, of course. So yeah, man, we got. I think we got 64 popping. Help us share this out. It's either a 6 or a 5. I'm trying to see it, y'all. But yeah, help us share this out, guys, if you don't mind. We're going to talk about, ALEK is going to share a little bit, man. And for me, at his age, at 15 years old, I'd be in a total lot of fear, and he's not. The willingness is there, so that's a big deal right there. So if you guys would help us share this out, if you want to share some hope out there, in the comments, post that clean date for us. Who we got on here? Can you see Bill Jarvis in the house? That's my dude right there. I love you, Bill. Real talk. There's Kathy Gumpson. I see you. Hello. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Tammy Alford. Let me get over here. Where am I at? Drop. So we've been going heavy right here, man. So yeah, man, post those dates. Help somebody. Most of you guys know Amanda Marker from Pain to Purpose. Go check her page out. It's in the comments. You can find her on there. And yeah, man, just trying to share some experience, strength, and hope right through here. Because most of you guys know, and I'll shut up in a minute. I'm so sorry, but my passion is for the kids, man. The blameless children don't have a say in the matter. And that's where it is. June 19th, 2021, we'll be having our 4th annual Blameless Children event right here in God's country, baby, huh? Kentucky, no doubt about it. Introduce yourselves. Go ahead. I'll keep sharing.
Yeah. You guys know. You guys already know me. I won't bore you with any stuff, but so I am in recovery, 5+ years now, and ALEK is my oldest. He is 15 years old. So I had him when I was about 15, and the poor kid just had to go through the whole thing with me, right? So it's been really kind of important to make sure that we're doing this healing stuff together, and we're kind of growing through it together. And I had asked him if he was okay with sharing, and he agreed to do it. So we haven't discussed anything. We haven't planned anything out. I just told him to be as honest as he possibly can, and he's cool with it. So ALEK, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I mean, you already did it for me, so.
so yeah, I mean, ALEK, for real. So you're 15 now. So when did this spiral out of control, Amanda? And there ALEK was.
It was his whole life. I mean, his whole life was. We lived in South Florida, so there was a lot of. I worked in bars and nightclubs, so there was a lot of that. And it was just his whole life. I think I started. My addiction began with Xanax, actually. So it was pretty heavy for him to have to go through as a young child. I don't know about the memories he has, but I'm sure that I'm going to be excited to hear about them.
Right. So ALEK, man, so you're 15. So do you remember when this started spiraling out of control?
Are you referring to like the initial start of the addiction, or like when it started getting like really bad and affecting, like?
Yeah, when did it affect you? How old were you? Do you remember?
There was certainly always, it kind of felt like this invisible barrier with my parents, and her boyfriend at the time, just kind of I don't know, there's just always this barrier, sort of like they were there, but they weren't really there.
Mhm.
And although I hadn't explicitly known that they were taking controlled substances and whatnot, I did, kind of feel the effect of that barrier that was there. Just weren't completely there.
Okay. So your mom was present, but she wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and I get it. I can relate for sure, for sure. So, during this process, so and Amanda, like, so would you have full custody at the time when you were doing the nightclubs with your little boyfriends and things like that?
Yeah.
Not knowing how to live, right?
I was a child. Trying to raise a child. And I mean, he felt the effects of that full bore, right? Because he had to be there and see it all. And he had to see the different guys and all of the things like that bothered him. And, and it was just kind of this unspoken thing until I started with recovery. And I realized that I cannot keep him from following my footsteps. I can't keep him from becoming an addict and doing the things that I've done, but I sure as hell can get my mind right and do what I need to do. So if he is ever there, he is able to remember that, hey, mom was doing these things to get out of it, and mom did this, and it worked. So hopefully, and that's kind of what we're here to share tonight, right? We don't want, there's a lot of people that we work with that have a lot of guilt, and they feel a lot of guilt with their children. And through these past couple months that I've been working through my recovery with my son around, there's been this kind of really cool thing, like lingering, right? This really cool, like I feel like he's been through the ringer and he's had a really tough life, and he's seen us crawl out of it, and it's made him this like phenomenal human, right? Like he's strong and he's smart and he's kind, and he's been so much more mature his whole life than he ever had to be. And and then he kind of switched back and got to be a kid again and got to experience that a little bit. And so yeah, I'm definitely interested to hear your side of it, Alec, because we don't talk much about it. I talk in front of him a lot, so I try to make sure he hears me, and I try to make sure he hears me talking to people, but I try not to talk at him. So I'm definitely interested to hear his side of this.
So, Alec, real quick, like your mom said, because I mean that's what we're here for, for you to share, because this is your story too. You didn't even do dope. You were a kid. You were blameless in this thing, but her actions affected you deeply, and it causes trauma. I mean, it really does. Because there you are, just a kid, blameless, and your mom's not around, and she's bringing all these different boyfriends, around and things like that, and you're seeing this lifestyle. And I got to talk to you earlier. Just got a clear head, a good head on your shoulders. I thought I was talking to a grown man. I'm like, oh Lord, okay. Tell us some pain. What hurt you as a child, knowing about this when this came to that?
I remember her boyfriend at the time. I was about, I'd say 9 or 10. Came in. And he had found one of her former drug dealers on social media, and I suppose he had told him some things, and he was very angry about it. And we were, riding around trying to find her, and I guess yell at her or something. I don't know what he was gonna do, but he started telling me like all about she's a drug addict, she can't be trusted, and that was when I first realized that like there was something severely wrong. Was taught in school for a long time that say no to drugs are bad, and suddenly here it is, my mother, someone I love unconditionally, is doing these things. And I kind of had to first of all think over in my head, like, is she a bad person, or are her actions bad and not associated with her? And there were certainly some other things, but that was definitely the main one. Is she a bad person, or is she just making bad choices?
Yeah, because there's this boyfriend at the time, and he's enraged, with this jealousy and this, and talking bad about your mother, and you're a 9-year-old boy, that has been put in a situation that you shouldn't have been in. Amanda, how long did it take you to forgive yourself? Because that was the hardest part for me in this process. for the harm that I'd caused my children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely something that I realized. It was really just this past year. So I started doing like my 12 steps, and that was at the beginning of the year, and I read through it, and it was just kind of like mind blowing because I was really in this place to where
Talking to you, jumping off the page. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yes, okay. I was really in this place to where I thought I needed to punish myself because I didn't ever want my children to sit around and think that I just forgotten about what I'd put them through. So I was in this really negative place of just punishing myself, and all of a sudden realized, wow, that's really fucking selfish, Amanda. Like that's really selfish because after all of this time, after all of the healing and the things and the time spent being sober, why does he still have to deal with all of my pain and problems and addiction and just really negative, nasty stuff, right? So I think that I realized that yeah. So this year he's kind of got to see me forgive myself, and I've seen him just kind of soar from that. I don't, like I said, we don't talk about it, but it's definitely something.
But that's the healing, because and I had to deal with that and learn that, like, if I keep sweeping it under the rug, that we'll never get to the solution, like procrastination, because I do owe him an amends. And I owe my children an amends, very heartfelt and real one. And we can't go back in time, but we have today, we have the now. And, because again, this kid's seen some things,
Mm-hmm.
he's seen some stuff that's not normal, due to your actions. And it's just beautiful to see you here today. So I'm going to just keep it 100, man. You're doing something, and for this young man to get on here and share about that, dude, it's just wow, what a blessing. It's amazing. Because that's what it's about. It's about the kids and getting back in their life. So how did you find treatment, Amanda?
I actually didn't find treatment. I went through my recovery kind of on my own. And of course, that's not something I recommend to people, but it's just how I did it. I watched a lot of TED Talks and did a lot of, rechanneling negative emotions and stuff like that. And it's been very important for me to do these things in front of my children so that they are able to, do that for themselves someday when I'm not here to help them do it. So yeah, he's definitely kind of, I sit in here, I do my sessions. I had a recovery coach. Rebecca Barnhart was my recovery coach. I did my sessions with her in the very next room so that my son could hear the most of the things that I was kind of learning, because we sit and have conversations and he doesn't want to hear anything like that. So it was just kind of important for me to do that in front of him because he's had it all. He was hungry and having to search for food to feed his siblings because.
How did you grow up, Amanda? We're both. Did you grow up in what kind of household did you grow up in?
My mother has bipolar. She has mental health issues. Okay. So it was a lot of, once she figured that out, there was a lot of up and down, with the different medications and seeing if they worked, if they made it worse, stuff like that. So yeah, it was she didn't know how to cope or to teach me how to cope or do anything emotionally healthy,
Okay. So where was your dad at during this?
I don't have a relationship with my father. He's lives in South Florida. I know we have a lot of mutual friends, but we don't speak.
Okay. And I go with that, again, because this could be, and we call it, breaking the cycle. We call it a generational curse, things of that nature, because it can prolong for generations after generations after generations. But you're in a place now to stop this. And build these relationships and realize what is going on in between your ears, what's real and what isn't real, and knowing that I don't have to put any dope or alcohol on this. I just got to feel what I feel and heal. And that starts with your recovery coach, whatever it may be, to tell them some things about your real emotions, your raw emotions. So, ALEK, check it out, man. You're 15 now, right?
Yeah.
So during this process now, so you got out there and he had to be removed. Is that am I correct?
There was actually a time I told you I was addicted to crack. So there was a really, really paranoid moment where he was on the front seat.
This is nuts. Go ahead.
Yeah. he was on the floor of the front seat. I had him down on the ground because I was hiding from the police and just all kinds of crazy paranoid stuff. And so I took him to school and I dropped him off and told his dad to pick him up, and I knew that I needed to go get my shit together. So that's what I did. I was gone for about 8 months. And he was left behind, right? Wondering what was going on, not knowing anything that was happening.
Oh my God, son. I'm surprised you sane right now, boy. God love his heart. Jesus, this is heavy, man. So you just dropped him off at school and didn't come back for 8 months. Go ahead, Alec. Say it, baby.
I couldn't make that out. Was that a question directed toward me or no?
Well, yeah, answer it. So you got dropped off at school and nobody shows up to pick you up? Is that what happened?
Yes, that did happen a few times.
Wow. Oh, heart that up, y'all. Love that boy. Share, brother, share.
Yeah. You can share it, Alec. Go ahead.
Share what?
Yeah. So we were talking
How were you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We were talking about the time that I dropped you off at school and didn't come back because then I was gone. And so do you remember anything from that experience?
Yes, I remember one time in particular where I was dropped off at school, and it did take you considerably longer than usual to come to school. At the time, you were with a man named Chris who had 2.5 teeth in his head and a black eye. And, he had a red pickup truck that was all rusty, So, I expected you to come in that, you didn't show up for about an hour. I think the school called a couple times to no response until they finally got one, That was, that was a very memorable experience because it was confusing. I'd known you as a forgetful person and, very unorganized, but, that was certainly a considerable stretch from your usual lateness and unorganization, just.
Do you remember when I dropped you off and didn't come back for a long while, like a few weeks?
Where did you drop me off?
At school.
You didn't come back for a few weeks?
No, your dad picked you up and then you stayed at his house.
How old was he, Amanda, when this happened, when you dropped him off and you just said, man, I'm going to go just out there, and again, you were powerless. And a lot of people don't understand this, the powerlessness, how vicious the disease of alcohol and addiction is. You can call it a choice, disease, whatever you want to, but the bottom line is I could not stop. You know what I mean? I used against my will. I remember, waking, praying when I did wake up, when I did get some sleep, not to use, and I would use. So how old were you, Alec, or Amanda, you can answer this, when you dropped him off at school and decided not to go back and get him?
I think I was probably maybe 20. I don't know. I was in my 20s. I'm only 34 now. I think I'm 34. But he was in, I believe he was in 5th grade. Fourth grade.
So he was 10, maybe 9, 10.
Probably, yeah. Okay. So, Alex, do you remember that? We went to the yacht club the night that we went to the yacht club, and I told you it was the best night of my life. The following day was when I dropped you off at school and never came back. Do you remember that?
Okay, yeah, now that you cite details, I remember that. That was quite confusing. I think the night before you had said something about having to go back to jail or something like that. Was that true? Or
I had warrants out. So yeah, I was supposed to, but didn't. I just continued to use drugs.
And find me when you find me, being powerless. But, again, just to see your relationship today with him. So We're going to get to that. But with your dad, Alec, he comes and gets you. So now, how was that relationship with your dad up until this point? Was he just weekends? What?
Uh, yeah, because for a long portion of my life, I lived in Pennsylvania, and that's where I currently live. But he lives in South Florida, and we moved down there, I believe, like halfway through third grade. And once we did that, it was every weekend. He'd come get me, drop me back off whenever school starts.
Real talk, real talk. So, what role did your dad? So, with mother no longer there, so and you were gone for how long before you actually got back in his life, Amanda?
I would come back every couple weeks and stay for a night and see him and visit him, and then I would leave again.
To cause more harm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's what we do, but not realizing the insanity that the harm that we're causing, creating more trauma.
Yeah, absolutely.
Creating more trauma for this young man. But Dad was there. How did Dad nurture you, Alec, into becoming the man you are today?
He certainly struggled with that because he himself is, broke and has, he's also has, a problem with drinking. It was a lot worse at the time. He'd come home, act like a total idiot, throw up on himself, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, usual routine. But there were a few things I remember, like we had to share a bed. It was a mattress on the floor. And that was very unusual because, as I mentioned before, there was that barrier between my mother and her boyfriend at that time. So it was certainly weird because not only did I have to be like physically closer with my father, but at that time we had to be emotionally closer as well. So it was a strange, like feeling because I had never really experienced that before with a guardian.
Wow. So you've grown up pretty quick, man. I mean, you're 15 years old, and just to hear you speak right now, how you're speaking, you would think that you were, 25, 26 years old, man. Wow. So this is, with your father's addiction and your mom's, wow, man, just to see you sitting here and how strong-minded you are, sharing knowledge, bro. That's wow, dude. I can't wait to see what God's plans are for you. Y'all turn some Jesus up in here. That was on fire, son. Yes, boy. That's, hey, man. Wow. Wow. So it makes you feel good, don't it, Amanda? You made something fun.
It really does. And that's kind of why we wanted to do this, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are struggling and they're not able to be with their children because they're making wrong decisions and they feel like maybe they're better off just leaving and being gone. And that is just not true, because this child is one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met. And I know damn well that that is because of the pain that he's felt and the darkness that he's seen and the way that we've come out of it, right? So It is crucial to get better for these children so that they are not left here when we're no longer able to protect them, just scared and alone with no idea of how to cope or how to, live emotionally. I mean, it's really, really scary to me to think of that. So I wanted to make sure, and watching him and kind of seeing him these past few weeks has been such a freaking awesome experience to go through. So
yeah, and you said, and I want to talk about this real quick, the consistency today, because like you said, you were still in active addiction and you would pop up when was convenient for you. And there he was, you'd pop up when convenient for you, and knowing that Alec would be there and think that you could give him a toy or some money. Oh, mama's got to go again, and keep creating that harm, that chaos that you were in due to your addiction. But today you're consistent with being in his life, because I see it so many times. I've seen people, they'll get clean, they'll lose their kids, they'll get their kids back because they'll jump through the hoops like they're supposed to, and then they'll let that evil committee, man, this disease, have them go back out and pick up that drink, pick up that dope, and start that trauma process all over again for these babies, man. Yeah, I know you ain't no baby today, young man, but I'm saying, you know, and we got to be vigilant. Everything we do, good or bad, affects someone, you know, and it's just it's crazy. If you guys would hashtag get off me devil, everybody on the comments, I think we got 160 on here popping. Do me a favor, real talk, just hashtag get off me devil one time. Real talk. Yes. So what grade were you at now? What grade you in?
I am a sophomore in high school. I am 10th grade.
Okay, and you're still in Florida or Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania.
Okay. How's that working out? Where's your grandparents and all this? Your dad's mom and dad.
His mother is certainly not the world's best example. You know, she's very. I don't want to be mean, but you know, she was very. She talked about people behind their backs,
Okay.
and she was very chaotic and, you know, I suppose toxic. Now, those are the best words I can describe it. But my grandfather was certainly a role model that.
Okay. Yeah.
He you know, he ran a business at the time, so he was constantly under a lot of stress. And although this was very visible, you know, he was always a very nice guy. You know, he'd stick around. He'd like, you know, we'd go do stuff together, and he always, I don't know how to describe it. He was just, you know, never. He was always there. He was always present. You know, he was certainly doing a lot better than, you know, most of the adults in my life at the time. So I appreciate him still. He's one of my best friends to this day.
Wow, and that's your dad's dad.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean that's real. You know, that was somebody in your life that inspired you, that showed you that love. You know, and you felt that. You know what I mean? That genuine love for you. You know, and this is heavy, man. This is some real heavy stuff. And just to hear you talk once again, man, at your age is wow. It blows my mind. Really awesome. So Amanda,
It's beautiful.
knowing how, and I think, you know, when the amends process hits, I think you need, you know, to reach out to his grandfather.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank that man, you know, for showing your son, his grandson, that love and to build, you know, like I talk about, like a bird will teach a bird how to fly, a fish will teach a fish how to swim. You know, a man's got to teach a boy how to be a man, and thank God for his grandfather being in his life.
Agreed.
Because he played a huge part in that, you know, just with ALEK sharing there, that shows what a major part that man played in his life, you know.
Yeah.
So, and this happens, and I'll let you guys talk, but, you know, our kids either grow up hating drugs with a passion, or they wind up following us in our footsteps.
Right.
You know?
What do you think about that, ALEK? Following in footsteps?
Are you referring to, like, you think it's common for people to follow in their parents' footsteps, or?
No, I think, like I said, either you grow up genuinely to just hate drugs and you know, fight against it. I'm not saying it's hereditary, none of that. I'm not a doctor by no means, but I'm saying you know, you just hate it. Like you just shared, you know, your mother, your father, you know, and you saw the state of mind, the psychosis they were in due to drinking and doping. I'm sure you hate it, right?
Yeah, it comes down to that. I don't believe that, you know, like, for example, my father's alcohol issue, you know, that can be good in moderation. And I think more so, I hate the effects of what one's lack of self-control and what, you know, like, that substance has the ability to do to them. You know, again, certainly with alcohol, it's definitely not an issue on its own. It's, you know, someone's lack of self-control. It's, you know, if they use it as a crutch, essentially, you know.
Well, what happens with that, we lose the power of choice. We lack of control. There's no such thing as willpower with some of us, you know, with the real deal alcoholic, with the real deal, you know, whatever, you know, I can justify it. Well, you know, I'm going to do this and do that. And then next thing you know, I'm, you know, over here passed out drunk, puking and pissing on myself. You know, I mean, again, the powerlessness with addiction, with alcoholism, it's heavy. It's heavy. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Keep it coming. Go ahead. Y'all do y'all's thing. I'm on here just seeing people from Mayfield, Kentucky in the house. We got Lexington in the house. You got any shots out? Give them up.
No, I can't see any. I can't see the comments, or I'd be paying attention.
Oh, you can't?
I mean, I can see the ones that are on the screen. Yeah.
They're jumping. They're jumping.
Ooh, get off me, devil! I love it.
Yeah, you had Rich Willer's in the house. My man, 100 grand. Rich, you're my role model. Quit playing. Rich is with Optimal Living in Lexington. They have a male facility IOP and a female facility IOP. Wonderful guy. He's got like 20, 30 years of sobriety, clean, no minor altering substance. A lot of clean time popping off. So, yeah, man, you can always reach out to Rich if you're looking for help. Reach out to me. We'll get you in contact with the right people right through here. But, yeah, so the devil gets off you when you bring him to come on then. Clean time. Go, Mark. I see you. Talk about it, baby. Lost Dreams Awaken, a new way to live. Here we go, son. Ronnie Burton in the house. Good stuff. So if you guys got any questions in the comments, I'll post them for Amanda or Alec. We're just jumping on here. We want to wish everybody a happy new year. We've been on a hot 30 minutes. Alec's going to a little get together. Is it a school function or what?
It's just a friend of mine is holding like a New Year's party. So
is it social distancing? He's gonna kill me.
Yeah, we're having a little tiff about this already today.
Right.
So
Jessica Bryant, and this is what happened with my son Justice. Jordan followed my footsteps, him and Josh, of course, and went down that wide path that's easy to get on, easy to go on. But my son Justice wound up, despising, drugs and alcohol. And he's teaching me how to be a father today. Justice is 25, and he does, man, each and every day. He's got a son. And he's got a new daughter, actually. She's about a week old now, and he teaches me every day how to be a father, not just,
I love that you said that.
Yeah, man, this kid is amazing. He's there for him. He's present. He's doing things. He's there financially. They live with him, just a good kid that's teaching me how to be the man I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean?
You're right. I love that you said that. That's so cool.
Yeah, Linda Dunn in the house. How you doing, Linda? Glad you're here. Can you see him, Amanda?
I see Carolyn from Ohio. Hello, Carolyn.
The Buckeye State. All right, here's another one. Manhattan in the house. Here's the great one, the only Sarah. Right. I know. I just missed that.
Yeah.
So Rich has got 13 years. My bad, Rich. I don't want no trouble, man. I love you, brother. So how hard was it when your mom asked you to do this, Alec? What were you thinking?
It was I hadn't really thought about it. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna just get on, do this, and might not try and formulate my answers like to the best of my ability, just kind of give them like half-heartedly. But then when we got on our phone call, mentioned that this could possibly help someone who was in a similar position to what I was in. So
because you're not alone. I didn't mean to cut you off, Alec. No, and let's talk about that real quick, because here's the thing, bro. From hearing what you've been through, her putting you in the floorboard, trying to hide because she's got warrants on her, dragging you pillar to post, if you will. And I love you, Amanda, okay?
Oh, you're good.
Dragging you around, you know what I'm saying? Because she had to do her dope. You know what I'm saying? She was out there, but she had to drag you along, and again, trying to, not get captured by the police, all that, to dropping you off at school. That had to cause some pain, man, in you, some hurt.
Yeah. There was it was just, I'd say the biggest cause of any sort of negative emotions I was feeling at the time, was her, the distance, she just wasn't like completely, she wasn't very obvious with her drug addiction. Like she wasn't shooting up in front of me or anything, but like she was still, I could see the effects of, although I didn't know it at the time, her substance issues. And it was just, she's certainly become a different figure in my life now. She's not distant
Amen.
anymore. Yeah.
And when I told you this will help, because it will, man, because, there's kids out there that hasn't forgiven their mother that, and my son, Jordan, he, when he was 5, he took it on as he wasn't good enough, that there was something wrong with him because I didn't love him like a father should, that I didn't nurture him, like a father should, but I was so strung out, self-centered, a coward, couldn't put the dope down, using it against my will. But as far as it's helping somebody, indeed, man, you have a testimony because her story is your story, your dad's story is your story. You lived it, and you didn't even drink or do dope. You were a blameless child, man. And that will because you're not alone. There's some kid out there that keeps bottling this pain up, man, that hasn't got this freedom you've gotten. Because you know what I mean? Can you feel me? You with me?
Yeah.
And I'm being real. Some kid out there and he's just mad at the world. Mad at the world because why me? Why can't my mother be here? Why can't my father be here like little Billy's over there? You know what I mean? And by you sharing this, like, whoa, I'm not alone. Now, Alec, he just sat on here and shared. I can relate to Alec's story, and that's the beauty. That's that therapeutic value of one blameless child helping another. Real talk. Who we got on here? T Bass in the house. What the peanut? Hashtag what the peanut. T Bass over in Anderson County. She's got, her son. He's doing wonderful now. He's got Cliff Bass got 2 years now, but his son Ryan, he's your age, and he's shared a few times here with me. He did a video for the Blameless Children. That's something that I'd like to get with you a little later and see. Amanda Ramirez, where you been, lady? I love you too. But, for real, because his mother was great, but his dad never was in his life. His dad would call him once a year, things like that on his birthday or Christmas. There was never a Christmas gift, just to call, hey, this is your dad. I'm sorry, who are you again? Things like that. So this is wonderful, man, to give us some hope. Come on.
Yeah, I love it. I'm really, really, we know a kid, right? We have a family member who his mother, him and his 3 brothers, their mother is literally in the woods somewhere, living in a tent, doing drugs. And
yeah, man.
He's kind of left behind wondering what he did wrong, right? Is that something that you ever felt, Alec, like it was something wrong with you? Or did you just think I was being selfish?
It was your absences, certainly that was a possibility that I had contemplated a few times, whether it was my fault or not, why you weren't there. It wasn't very often that I thought about this, because I don't know, just something I thought about like once in a while. Luckily I didn't have that issue as badly as some other people who have dealt with similar or possibly worse things. Luckily I didn't think about it as much as those people, certain people, might have or probably do. So I'm very fortunate that I didn't really think that, but just once in a while I maybe thought it could be my fault.
So if there's one piece of advice that you could pick out of all the different cool things that you could ever say to somebody that's kind of got a mom or a dad that's out running the streets, do you know what that piece of advice might look like?
You gotta, I don't know, just you gotta find someone to confide in and be with. Personally for me, before my grandfather,
Yeah.
and when I had to deal with that barrier that I've mentioned quite a few times so far, we had a cat named Smokey, and that was my friend. I'd go down into the basement with him, because he was very, I don't want to say close, but him and I knew each other's presence, and we like knew the other was there, and we almost communicated in a way, you know.
I
Although
love you, boy. Share.
although we
Share.
didn't you know, although we didn't communicate, we couldn't talk back and forth, you know. It was yeah, he was a great
But
cat,
that
you know.
comfort, that, yeah, man. So that cat, you had a cat named Smokey,
Yep.
right? And you went to him and just, man, that I love you, kid.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. That's heavy, man.
Smokey was
That's
stuck in the house with me too. I was his mom too. So
that's amazing, man. Just to, with your grandfather. You guys, if you would, hashtag turn Jesus up one time. Don't play about it, pray about it. We coming at you live right through here. No doubt about it. Here's my little son. He's coming. You want to come here? Come here. Hold on a second.
Hold on.
Yeah, man. This is my youngest son. So, but that's heavy, Alex. Thank you, man, for just being real and getting on and sharing. Let's see what we got in the comments one time. What we got in here? You coming up, son? He's been wanting to. Let me open this up a little. Booyah!
Woo!
What up? Say hi, you guys. That's Alec. Look at Alec.
Yeah.
That's Amanda. Say hi, Amanda.
Hi,
Say,
Hi,
can you say
buddy.
Alec?
Alex.
Yeah, Alec's a big boy. He's 15. You hear me? What do you got? Where you just got out of the shower?
The other Alex is at me.
Yeah, he's a little boy. He's only 6 or something. Alec's 15. He's been through some stuff. He's on here helping somebody tonight. Tell him thank you. Say thank you, Alec,
Thank you, Alex.
for helping people. Say it, man.
No.
This kid, man. This kid. So yeah, so that's just good stuff. All right, see you later, buddy.
Bye.
Thanks for sharing with us.
You're welcome, Sharon.
Okay, carry on. Yeah, man, it's a blessing right there. You know.
So he's always seen you sober, right?
Yeah. He's always. I'll have 7 years. The seventh of next month. So, February the 7th, I'll have 7 years. That's my sobriety clean date, whatever fellowship you're in. But yeah, and the other kids haven't, and it's crazy, but again, exactly what you're doing, we're being a part of. We're participating in our own lives so we can participate in others, and love others and be genuine about it. It's real. Here we go. What y'all got? Go ahead. Sarah King Jasper in the house. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Donnie, I'm sorry. Turn it up, son. Here we go. What you got for us?
Yeah.
We've been on here 42 minutes. What time? So you got to be there at 8, Alec?
Yeah.
I don't mind if it runs over.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, give us some more hope, man. I mean, you're just sharing about, because I remember that, just, in our emotions and either I got in trouble. I had a lot of verbal abuse as a little boy. And I would go and try to, into the room and in a room where nobody was at and just isolate. But there was a dog and he was on the chain outside. His name was Bo. And I'd go after that dog and just, what's the word I'm looking for? Somebody help me. What is it? Like that comfort that I don't know. Is that what it is? Is that right? Go ahead.
He's like, yeah. So we were talking about that earlier, right? There's like this resistance that I still have to that emotional connection.
That bond. Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Share. I'm the worst.
What's that?
I'm the worst. I said hashtag is for me. I'm trying to get the comments going. We got a nice crew in here tonight, man. It's really been well. And Alec, you're really sharing a powerful message. That can, and it'll not only help kids your age, teenagers, but parents as well. The hope there, that they can be back in their child's life and have a relationship that you and Amanda are building and growing stronger every day because she put the dope down and got out of the way. Who was that in the background?
That's my little one.
Oh.
Yeah, he's screaming at the top of his lungs like a psycho.
Right. How old is he?
He's 4, and he's
wow.
Yeah, he's not seen me using, right? So the older kids have. My daughter's 9. She wasn't really around much because her father wouldn't let me see her. So Alec and I, his dad was really cool. And if I would go over there, he would let me in. And there was one time where we slept in the front yard on the lawn because I was a homeless junkie, and like laying in the grass back then was totally normal, right? So we laid in the front yard, and I remember, Alec, I remember some really amazing times from that really shitty, horrible time in your life. I remember bonding with you in some pretty cool ways that I'll never forget, like the yacht club and like running through puddles barefoot because I was a homeless junkie, and like we just ran the streets and jumped in puddles and did all kinds of fun things, and went in houses that were crack houses and had lots of roaches. And yeah, man, that was a crazy life for you, you know. And do you remember all that stuff?
All the things you mentioned, yeah, you know, again, I just wasn't, you know, I was like 9, 10, whenever things really, that was probably like the point where your addiction probably got the better of you, like the most, you know. That was like the peak of it when from 9 to 10. That would be like, you know, I think that's 2014, 2015, but like it's it was certainly yeah, you know, I just wasn't as observant, so you know, I didn't notice that, you know, you could see your ribs, and you know, I didn't notice that, like, you know, there were roaches everywhere and how dirty these places were. And
You didn't?
now that I think back, like, yeah, I can definitely see, you know, it was just normal to me at the time, you know.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's crazy. And when you think about it, Amanda, I mean, wow, man, you know, you're putting him in harm's way all the time because, you know, addicts can get out there, you know what I mean? And, you know, like it talks about, if the dope don't get you, the lifestyle will, you know, because I've been in situations, you know, to go cop dope with the kids, and, you know, they're actually gunplay, you know what I mean? You know, just ignorant, you know, total chaos. It's crazy. It's crazy. Go ahead, take it.
Completely crazy. There was a time where I had taken him on a very long walk with me because I was homeless and didn't have anywhere to live. And there was somebody's house who we stopped by their house on the way home. It was an older gentleman, and this older gentleman was one of those kind that like to feed people drugs. And then so he would feed us drugs, and then I'm pretty sure he was interested in like, he was trying to get me to let him sleep alone with my son and do all of these weird things.
Wow.
You remember that, Alec?
How old was that?
I remember that. You know,
You remember it? You were, I think what, were you 9 or 10 at the time?
Yeah, still in that age range, you know, 2014, 2015. It was definitely, yeah, I remember that. That was a very odd experience. We ate these lunch that day. He gave us lunch, you know, it was like covered in flies flying around everywhere, you know, these cheap hot dogs that tasted terrible, you know. It was disgusting, but
yeah, that was a rough one. There was lots of those occasions.
I remember.
So this guy was a total fruit nugget, right? Crazy, like a, you know, pedophile kind of thing. And you noticed that, Amanda?
I did. I wondered if you did, Alec. Did you notice that?
He was definitely a little too personable for you know, my like way too personable for my liking. And then, you know, at the end of the day, I think, you know, he was screaming at Chris, and therefore all of us to get out of his house,
right,
or something along those lines. And I'm like, oh no, he's just crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like he might just be a fruit crazy and a June bug. You know what I mean? Nuttier than a squirrel turd, Alec. That guy's, you know what I mean? It happens. It happens. Real talk, real talk. So go ahead, give it to us. I'm just going to sit on here and find some comments. If you guys would hashtag AHL family one time, I'll put it up for you if I can find it. I thought I could find it. I ain't looking good. I'm losing it over here. This has been really fun, man. I'm glad to get to be a part of this with you guys. I can't get over what takes me the most is how grown up Alec is, you know, because again, that's a lot of trauma. Have you had to see a therapist during this time, Alec?
You should.
None. Yeah, I mean, it's man, for you to be as sane and sound the way you sound right now, wow.
And that's where the hope is born, right? I mean,
Oh man, it's just amazing. It's just amazing for all this, you know.
I think it might have been only a year ago, and I really thought that he was going to have a really hard life emotionally, and I thought that he was going to struggle a lot, and it's completely blown me away to see his maturity, because I remember noticing his maturity when he was very small and he didn't need to be mature, and that was painful to see because I was doing that to him. But at this point, seeing the way the person that he's grown to be, and it might sound horrible, and I hope it doesn't, if it does hurt your feelings, you can absolutely tell me, but I wouldn't change any of it. It's the way things have been, it's how things are, and I think that he's insanely strong because of those things. So we're not hopeless. There is hope. There's always hope. It's not
always hope. As long as there's breath in your body, there's hope. Yeah, and I get excited. I'm a Jesus freak. I'm gonna turn some Jesus up on you right here. Amen. Hallelujah. But I'm just, so it's to see what God's plans are for you, young man, and your mamas as well, because the blessings are already coming. This is a blessing to, tonight, just that your mother's actually in your life, participating in your life, not just present, not dragging you in and out of these trap houses. You know what I mean? Not having to eat hot dogs with fruit flies on them, fruit bats, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have your friends today. You know what I mean? You're creating a life for yourself, man, a positive life to grow. Just stay on this path, man, and to, just prosper in life. I'm excited, man, just because, again, dude, golly, dude, you've been through some things, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, he's got a very, very, very special future.
He's sharp, isn't he? That boy's sharp, y'all. Yes, he is. I see you, boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's got a very, very important future, and that's where it is, right? We go through this, and we grow through this with them, and that's important that we do that. We have to grow with them, because the whole reason I'm here, and the whole reason that we've both gone through all of these things, is because he's destined to do some crazy, insane, awesome stuff someday, and
yeah,
we're here to make that happen.
So, Alec, what do you like to do?
The grandfather I had mentioned, before, 2 years ago, I believe 2 years ago now, getting close to 3, he went and, started teaching me to play guitar because he plays. And
Wait till you hear him. Like, it's insane.
Can you hit something real quick?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I've been trying
to come
up with Ben from A String of Pearls.
You have to get him hooked up with Ben.
Right? That's what I said. You got to get the electric guitar, Alec.
Oh, yeah, the strap's not working on that one. I prefer this one.
Yeah, go with it. Hit us something. Give us some tunes, man. Sing or something.
What? Right. What was the Alison Krauss one that you learned?
The what?
The one with Alison Krauss about the alcoholic.
The Whiskey Lullaby?
Yeah.
Oh, that's him too, that Whiskey Lullaby. Mm-hmm. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Give it to the baby.
All right.
Good deal. So your granddaddy, huh, been teaching you how to play?
Yeah, because I go down for the summers now for about 3 month periods of time, and in that time, I forget why he did it. I think I was playing the drums at the time, you know, and he had tried to get me to play guitar because in his mind, guitarists are way cooler than drummers, So he got me to do all that, and once the summer ended, we took a trip up to Gettysburg. That was amazing. And we
Wow.
stopped on the way back at a local music shop and picked this up, So
I'd like to just add that he's actually taught himself how to play that guitar. His grandfather got him into it and taught him a few things here and there.
Right.
He has learned how to play it all on his own.
Well, this
hours.
is beautiful, man. I'm proud of you, kid. I mean, honestly, the pain that you've endured due to your mother and your father's bad choices. I'm thank God your mother's where she's at today, and again, participating in her own life to be a part of your life, dude. This has been a blessing. I know to me, and I know everybody that's been on here tonight watching. Just to hear you get on here and share, man. You're so grown up, man. You're so grown up, kid. It's just a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. But Amanda, you need to, write his grandfather a letter.
I think I'm
A suggestion, for being that positive inspiration. And thank you, sweetie, for getting your life, back.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. This was awesome. I'm really excited. That was awesome.
So yeah, we need to do it again sometime. Alec, if you'd be open to it, bring Amanda, you and your mom on, and I got Riley Smith. She's 15 as well. She was Miss Kentucky. She's won some Kentucky pageants. Wonderful young lady, man. She's raised so much money for the Blameless Children this year alone. Just a powerful testimony, such as as yours, and of course Ryan Bass. Oh my gosh, Jayla. There's so many. That it's just great because I'd like to get all you kids on here one night and just chop it up together, man, for real. Yeah, and they grow up. It's crazy because they grow up. We cause them with our actions to grow up so fast, but I just see the beauty because I'm like, man, you sure you ain't seeing a therapist? God love your heart, baby. It's amazing. It's amazing. Any last words, Amanda? Give it to us.
That's it, you guys. It's not too late. If you're not, if you don't have your kids and you're not at home with your kids and you're fighting for custody, just keep fighting, keep going, keep pushing, keep healing. Healing is the most important thing that we can ever do for our children. So
yes. Oh, I'm gonna cut you off. I got my cousins on here. I love you, Tabitha. I didn't see it, but I see somebody say hi. That's my cousin. She's seen me at my worst.
Well then she's extra proud then, right?
Yeah, she's a good girl, man. It's awesome. What you got for us, kid? Give us something. One of these kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, closing thoughts or
yes.
No. If you are in a similar position, whether it be worse, better, the same, something along those lines. Essentially, you are a child put into the position of having to watch your guardians or guardian, depending on your circumstances, lose themselves to any sort of substance or even harmful activities that can be addictive, something along those lines. That I hope that this is helped you in some way, shape, or form tonight.
Amen. Well, I think it definitely has. I think your testimony, your mom's testimony alone has helped. It's been inspirational to me. But I want to thank everybody that, was on here with us tonight. Thank you for stopping in. Go check out Amanda. Tell them where to go, Amanda.
I have a digital support center for peer support. It's called Pain to Purpose. So hit that up. We do all kinds of healthy coping mechanisms. And we have a health and recovery hub called Convenient Health and Recovery as well. And all of that stuff is linked to my profile if you want to go check it out.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And I think I put it in the comments, the gift of forgiveness. That was Amanda gave me that suggestion for, the headlines tonight. And it should be in there where to find her page and find there. No creepers. We're watching for you. But Alec, thank you again. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Enjoy your party. Stay out of trouble, right? Social distancing. Wear your mask.
Yeah. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Drew. Thank you for this.
Happy New Year. No, thank you, guys. Alec, it's been a pleasure, bro.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
It really has. You've blessed me tonight. I know I'm blessed. I
Thank
feel
you.
better, like when people come into your life, you know what I mean? And you have that gift. My life is better off knowing you. I leave tonight better off, feeling better. Thank you, young man. Thank you so much. Amanda, I look forward to talking to you in the future. We're gonna keep turning it up. Let God in the wind. Happy New Year. All right.
Love you, brother.
See you guys. Thank you. Uh-oh.